Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. How is everyone today? Hope you're well. And freezing, wet, miserable day as it is out there. But anyway, today what we're going to look at is we're going to be looking at the player ratings from the game last night and see what you guys think about it. And we're also then going to have a quick look at just some of the latest sort of gossip and transfer news and rumours and speculations that are out there. And I'm sure that will only ramp up, as we know, as December progresses into January. So who's on? Carl Blundell's on. Hello, mate. Did you vote for me? Did I vote for you? Paul Standall, evening everyone, thought last night's game was pretty good. City playing better with proper defenders at the back. Garcia showing why he played instead of Fernandinho at the back. We'll talk about that. Kenneth Taylor, back to winning ways. Well done, City. Hello, Andy. How are you, Kenneth? Paul Standall noticed as well we went back to what we did best before, keeping the ball and plenty of passes, keeping the ball. Yeah, that was definitely true of last night. Instead of just throwing, hopeless balls into the box, the pass wasn't on. It was good to see us going back to what we were like before, where we just kept hold of it, rotated it, moved it from one side to the other. Kieran King Killer, hey, how are you, mate? You're new. Mingy Wong, hi lads, how are you, mate? Ryan Corrie been and voted. Hopefully tomorrow marks the end of everyone acting like an expert. Oh, don't even go there, Ryan. It's driving me up the wall. Is everybody on Twitter for like 2-3 days of a year suddenly, or every couple of years, or however long, when it's a general election, suddenly becomes Twitter political experts and telling you how they vote. You never read anything from them about politics for the rest of the year, or 18 months, but suddenly 2 days before a general election, they're all over social media giving you their opinion of which party to vote for. But anyway, I've been and done mine. Paul Standoff Foden played really well. Love his energy and his drive going forward. Yes. I'm becoming PM, in your dreams, mate. Kay Waves, Bernardo Silva or Foden must start in midfield. Mahrez to start on the right. Mahrez needs to do a lot more than he did last night when given the opportunity to even get a starting place. Kenneth, brilliant. Carl Blundell, I'm sick of all the celebrities being the politicians' number one fan. Oh, I know. Again, you see them all come out, don't you, for a couple of days, and they're all suddenly, enforcing their opinions on everybody else. Nobody's interested. Go back to making music or films or whatever it is that you do. Mingy Wong, I didn't vote for any political debate as it's not relevant to me. Ryan Corrie, Garcia was poor. Will be Walker, Nico, Ferner, and hopefully Mendy at the weekend. I wouldn't say Garcia was poor. I thought he grew into the game. He looked very uncomfortable at the beginning, certainly. Paul Standall, patient build-up, must have been 600-plus passes. Really hope to see us back to Pep City. Yeah. Any news on Sane or Laporte? Laporte's back in training, as in fitness training, but a little bit of news about Sane. Nothing that we don't already know. And haven't spoken about 1,000 times already. Carl says, I think we settle it in a boxing. Corbyn versus Johnson. He's a pacifist, isn't he, Corbyn? So he probably won't go for that one. Let me just move my screen out the way there. Garcia Paul, what did he had to do? Why are my dreams politics too controversial? He was completely at fault for the goal and then fell into win a header to another counter, and he could do well to deal with it. I thought Mahrez played well, including his assist for the first goal. I thought he was okay. And, like I said last night on the live watch along, let's not forget that Zagreb weren't great. And they're not a great team. So, they are what it is. We'll wait and see. Just got a message up there. Sorry, I just got a message up on my YouTube. So if it just paused for a second there, it was asking me to do something. So Maro's got an assist and didn't do much for the rest of the night. Postando, when was the last time Sane was seen at City? I think from the little amount of time he's been at the club, he's off. I'll be honest with you, I can't disagree with that, Paul Standall. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I don't think any of us know really, but it's not looking good. Let's put it that way. Everton are close on agreeing a deal with Zlatan for 2 years. Really? You really see that happening, Cal? Zlatan to Everton? Maybe it will. Who knows? What do you think about VAR? I mean, we'll talk about that, Kenneth. If you watched, were you on the watch along last night? We were discussing it all last night. Mahrez was okay, didn't set the world alight, but did a fairly good job. Our problem we have now is the minute Mahrez does anything of any importance, we are expected to say the sun shines out of his. Yeah. Mahrez contributes little to nothing from a defensive standpoint. Mingy Wong, I have to say Garcia isn't ready enough for the first team, seems a bit inexperienced. Zlatan probably hasn't heard of Everton. Right, okay. Let's get into it and let's see. Let's have a look at the first one. Who shall we go for first? We'll do the. I'll tell you what. We'll talk about the sort of latest news later. Let's get into. No, we won't. We'll do the transfer stuff for those who are on, and then we'll come back for the player ratings. So, a couple of bits and pieces around today. Let's see, as though it's been mentioned before. Let's talk about Leroy Sane. If you want to talk about Sane, and basically, this is just another repeated story that's gone round and round and round for God knows how long. But Bayern Munich allegedly are optimistic on signing the City star, and they're targeting a deal for less than €100 million. And this is again in Sport Build, and they're saying that Bayern Munich is still optimistic about their chances of signing the winger. In the latest edition of the German publication, it's reported that super agent and intermediary in the transfer, Giovanni Brancini, has been working behind the scenes to get the deal done, and this is according to City Extra. The proposed transfer will take place next summer, and Brancini aims to get it done for less than €100 million. This would be considerably less than what Manchester City was said to have demanded earlier in 2019, before a serious injury ruled Sane out. The news comes after Sane reportedly put an end to contract renewal talks with the club, deciding once and for all to move on and return to his homeland. Well, he's played 134 times for City, scoring 39 goals, and but it is, as they say in City Extra, that we are missing his electric pace. So I don't know what are your thoughts on it. I mean, for me, I've said now for the last couple of months, it looks like he's a goner. Whether we will see Sane over the coming months when he returns from injury, that's yet to be seen. I mean, I'm sure City won't cut the nose off to spite the face, but can you imagine if he's adamant he wants to go and has told the club that? So City are thinking, right, okay, we've got to try and get as much as possible. There's two ways to go. Play him, and if he's electric, we might get more money for him. He plays and breaks down in March and does it again, and he's injured, and we have to pay him for the next 18 months of his contract and get nothing out of him whatsoever. So it'd be interesting to see how City, the board, actually handle this particular debacle, let's call it, with Leroy Sane. Let's go back to your comments. He's the age of my nan. He's about 333 years old. I don't want a dinosaur. So I've got to say that the elbow last night was a shocker. Everything that's wrong with VAR, that's just wrong. It is. I hope Rodri is fine after that nasty elbow. Yeah, I said last night, Dunk City could have broke his cheekbone. That Ryan, he scored past us. K. Webers, Umtiti linked to City. Is he the centre-back we need in January? Who else would you go for? He's a decent player. But when you get the likes of Barcelona not wanting not wanting him anymore, it sort of speaks volumes, at the end of the day. Why, if he's that good, why don't Barcelona want him? Ryan Corrie, that doesn't mean he knows who Everton are, just another crap team he scored against in his mind. I don't rate Mahrez, says Dudley Lewis. Cal says Zlatan scored past everyone. Mingyu Wong's Zlatan to Everton seems like a bad move. Kenneth Taylor, wasn't him to stay. Coleman injury looked horrible. Yeah, it was nasty. I saw that this morning. Aaron, I hope he goes and he is not the same player after his injury. It will serve them right. And when Bayern cast him to one side and sell him, he may realise what he had here. We'll wait and see. Should say if he wants to go. By all accounts, they're intimating in the article that he's already told them he's not going to sign a new contract. Want him to stay, big loss, but he isn't staying. You get that vibe, the fact that you never see him at games or posting his support for the club, no interest. Yeah, agree with that, Paul. I would miss him. I think we would. I mean, we know that Pep said he could be anything in world football, but it's down to him. Clearly, for whatever reason, and we don't know, we're only speculating. We don't know the real truth behind it, but something's turned his head. We'll be sad to see him waste his career away in Germany, says Ryan Postand. I've got to say the decorations behind your head look a bit drab. Decorations? Oh, that's just a sign. That's just a sign, mate. They're not the decorations. All the decorations are in there. I do apologise. That's just a Merry Christmas welcoming into this is the hallway of the home. So this is not where the decorations are. VAR is bad, man. I'm late. J Viva, don't worry, mate. Sane, class player, and will be big wherever he goes. Hey, and evening, mate. Mahir, how are you, buddy? Hope you're well. Right, okay. Let's have a look at some other news. So we've done Sane. Let's have a look at De La Vega. And this is just again some... apparently, according... again, City Extra have got quite a lot of stuff out here that they're sort of posting from other sports sites, and says City are opening negotiations to sign the Argentine wonder kid. I ain't using that word wonder kid. I mean, it gets used... It's almost now when you read the word in any article, wonder kid, you sort of go, yeah, right. Because it's just overused that much. Everyone who comes out of South America is suddenly referred to as a wonder kid. But it says that they may have to go head-to-head with Sporting Lisbon to sign the Argentine Pedro de la Vega. And this was in Sport Witness. And that's according to Ebola, who say that the 18-year-old is a target of both the English and Portuguese giants, and not the subject of a partnership bid between the two, as was previously reported. De La Vega, who plays as a forward for the Argentine club Lyon, had a price tag of €10 million when Genoa were interested last summer, and that fee will only have gone up as the player starts getting his first taste of senior football. He's now a regular for the Argentina's under-20 side. Recent reports from Yogo, claim that Sporting would use their partnership with Man City to afford the highly rated youngster and in return give Guardiola's team the chance to buy him later. However, this news contradicts Ebola and says both teams are interested in signing the player right now. Well, as we know, if that is the case with Pedro de la Vega, he won't be coming to Manchester City. He'll be immediately loaned back out because he certainly... chances are wouldn't get a work permit because he certainly wouldn't walk into this team anyway. So it'd be one of those that wherever he goes, he might end up going to one of our sister clubs, be that in, I don't know, maybe New York City or maybe go to Spain or somewhere like that. So we'll see. I mean, there's all of these transfer sort of speculations. I mean, I've done myself on live vlogs. I must have talked about 30, 40 of these kids over the last 6 months, and certainly some of the players that we're talking about now we've talked about over and over so many times, and I would say 90% of them are all, that if they did ever come, they're not going to play for City, if ever. The chances are they're going to be bought just to make a profit on at a later date, unless one of them turns out to be absolutely special. So it's just the club just maintaining, their rotation of academy players, and hopefully one day we might get a Messi one out of 200 of them in the next 5-10 years. So that's all it's about. Where is a picture of Zuma wearing a Santa hat? Couldn't tell you. After last night's performance, are we supposed to get excited at the prospect of Phil starting against Arsenal? I'd like to see him given a chance. I really would. I think with everyone's been saying we're missing that drive and energy in midfield, and that was evident last night how much of that Phil Foden brings. Santa hat next time for me. Is the Christmas tree in the other room? Yes. This is the hallway. This is my office area in the hallway. That's the front door right there next to me. Over there is the Christmas tree. So in the living room. I really think his dynamism will kill their midfield and defence. Has one man of the match wonder kid? Yeah. Ryan Corey, Real Madrid needed in the last 16. Average manager and a little better than average team. Should be an easy win for us. You reckon? We're going to have to play our damn sight better. And let's not go overboard. 4-1 was a good result last night, but we were playing Zagreb and they were nothing special. Carl's on. Hi, Andy. How are you, buddy? Hope you're well. So, right, what else? A little bit of news. We've spoke about this. This is what I was saying before. We spoke about this guy again probably 3 or 4 times as well. And this one is in Sport Witness again. And talking about Pep Guardiola knows a player can be a hit at City. A €75 million asking price is nothing, according to Sean Lunt. January is around the corner, they say, which means the start of the transfer window, and rumours regarding Leroy Sane. The City winger was heavily linked with a move to Bayern throughout the summer, but missed out, obviously, when he suffered that ruptured cruciate ligament. That's not stopped the rumours about a move, though, with Bayern known to be still keen and will likely target the player in the summer. Should that happen, Manchester City would need a replacement, and the man who has been linked is Real Sociedad's Mikel Oyarzabal. The Spaniard was heavily linked with a move to the Etihad throughout the summer as a result of the Sane rumours, and El Confidencial say City's interest remains. According to them, should Sane move to Germany, which looks likely, that would reopen the door to a move for Oyarzabal. Pep Guardiola knows the player can perform for a big team, and the €75 million price tag is nothing to Sheikh Mansour's checkbook. Ultimately, the decision will be Oyarzabal's, and he will decide his fate. But like last summer, it seems City will have him on their list once again. Now, it's easy to turn around, and write an article for a publication and claim that 75 million is nothing. Well, it is. It's a lot of money. 75 million euro is still 65, 68 million pounds. That's a lot of money. So is it an area that we are absolutely desperate? It depends on how much money is available to Pep in the summer. I'm sure if Pep wants 4, 5, 6 players, I'm sure the money will be made. And, you could say, well, if we got 90 million euro for Leroy Sane, maybe spending 75 million euro on Oyarzabal is a good deal, and we get 15, 20 million euro on top of that to spend on another player. So, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I must admit, I haven't seen tons of him. So I did, when I spoke about him 2 or 3 times before. He seems pacey, seems quick, seems tricky. Has he got the quality in the future to be of where Leroy Sane could have been? I have no idea. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea on it. So we'll wait and see. Who else is on? Happy Thursday, everyone. Great win yesterday. Well done, Gabby and Phil. Says Kiam. Hope we play better than last Christmas. Mark Armstrong. All right, Andy. I'll be in the UK over Christmas at a few games. Maybe I'll see you at 6 Square. Yeah, mate. You're more than welcome. Come over and have a chat with us. We'll be there. Hi, Andy. Phil was in total control. Almost criminal for him not to start instead of David Silva. He had a very good game last night. Hi, Kiam. Just saw your Premier League predictions. Yeah, very interesting. He said he would turn us down. No thanks. Kiam, yes, not confident. Mingy, I think we will really struggle this weekend. Hope I'm wrong. Mahir says Carl Silva was supposed to be injured according to Pep, so don't worry. I think it's just between starting Gundogan and Foden. I think Foden should edge it based on his performance. Ocean Rage, hello fellas, how are you? Mingy Wong out. I see, just keep the faith. We can play well against Arsenal. Kenna says need 130 million for Sane. I said it back 3-4 months ago. There's no way we will get 130 million for Leroy Sane. He's got 18 months left on his contract. He's injured. He's currently injured. He hasn't played since the Community Shield. There's no way we will get 130 million euro for a player who is, one, coming back from a long-term injury, two, got 18 months of his contract left. We're just not. We just simply have to be realistic about this, guys. We'd be lucky to get 100 million. Lucky. I think we'd probably let him go for 80 and 90 million euro. You can't lace Leroy's boots, said Jay Fresh Stunner. Mahir, from what I saw of Foden yesterday, he is ready 100%. Haka, we all want him to play. He was sublime, mate. Andy, he is average. Watched him, he will struggle in the Premier League. You're talking about Oyarzabal? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, what makes me laugh is I go on City Square every other home game. We'll come and say hello, Kenneth. We're not in City Square. We're outside the Blue Moon Cafe. We will now only get about 80 million. Yeah, that's all I think we get for him. If a player wants to go, then you get as much as you can. You cannot demand ridiculous fees. You can't. Otherwise, you just end up. He'll just run his contract down. Which leads me to the just final bit of sort of gossip, and it's not about City being rumoured with this player. What does annoy me a little bit, and this is Takumi Minamino, and if you look in the Guardian today, Guardian are claiming that Liverpool are in advanced talks to sign Salzburg's Takumi Minamino for 7.25 million. That's his release clause. Marseille and Bayern Munich are also interested, but it's claimed that Liverpool are in advanced talk to sign the Japanese forward, who has really impressed Jurgen Klopp and the Liverpool players in the two meetings between the sides in the Champions League and the Premier League. Club are keen to take advantage of the low release clause in the player's contract and get the deal done in January. Salzburg sporting director Christoph Freund said on Thursday that the club had held discussions with Liverpool. He said, I can confirm that there are talks with Liverpool at the moment. It is an honour for us to see the calibre of clubs who are interested in our players. Minamino joined Salzburg from Cerezo Osaka in 2015, and he scored 41 goals in 129 league games. That is better than Leroy Sane has done, albeit in a weaker league. But he is definitely a very exciting player, and some have said he's actually been a far better player this season than the likes of Ireland. So what does annoy me about this in theory is, are we taking advantage of some of these players? This guy's only 24, by the way. Are we taking advantage? And what are our scouts doing? Looking at these now, I must admit, I've only seen him. I saw him in the games against Liverpool, and I've seen him twice before in Fleeting. I haven't watched game from 1 minute to the end, and he does look exciting. Now, would he be worth an 80 million? No, clearly not. But we're talking about £7.25 million. We've just spent £60 million on Joao Cancelo, a right back. We're throwing that type of money on, let's face it, a player who so far isn't pulling up any trees. And we've got somebody here who is still only 24, playing in Champions League football, by all accounts doing very well, for £7.25 million. Look at the way Liverpool are spending at the moment. The 8 million or whatever it was on Andy Robertson. The money that others are spending on younger kids. And you look at it, all right, they have spent big on other players, but Why are we not? Why are we not sniffing around these type of players at least and trying to influence them for that type of money? That is his release clause, and clearly Salzburg are interested in looking at it. Actually discussing it. Now he's played 14 games so far this season, scored 5, and he's assisted 6 times in there. So I don't know. I just thought I'd throw it out there. No, it's not City. I've not been linked to him, but it just got me thinking when I saw that. I'm thinking that is peanuts. That is peanuts money. Absolutely peanuts money. But I guess it depends on what's needed. But for me, it's not like we're talking about a 40, 50 million euro player. We're talking about 7.25 million. It's less than what we paid to get Angelino back. Oh God, well done. Well, big jump here. If a player wants to go, yeah, Minamino is overrated, overplays, missing too many chances, loses the ball and doesn't track back. Stats are decent though, Carl. Phil got to play from now on. You know, what do you think about signing Leon Bailey instead? I don't know. Costs too much money, I think he's far too inconsistent. Only behind KDB. There is no reason why he's so cheap. There is a reason why he's so cheap, Minamino. Well, Carl, I mean, you might watch a couple of games, but these, I mean, listening to people on the radio, people on the game last night on BT, the night before they were talking about him, and they watched him all season and said he's probably their best player. Forget Haaland, he's probably their best player this season. And let's face it, his stats: 14, 5 goals, 6 assists for a winger. Pretty decent, in my opinion. We can still win the Champions League and both cups at home. Jumps. Kiam, fair play to Liverpool. Sensible signings, not always popular ones, and it works better. Yeah, I mean, and this is my point. Hi, Andy. Hi, Bernard. Mingy Wong. We should get some Atletico Madrid players like Sal and Koke. Yeah. And how much money do you think Sal will cost? No chance. He won't. And somebody said he won't leave. Chances are he won't. Hi, Kiam. Abhishek. Hi, Andy. Nice to see you after so many days. I was on here last night, mate. Where have you been? He wouldn't leave and would be insanely expensive, honestly. Carl, Andy, he's over it. Oh, that's just repeating over and over, same thing over again. I don't know why. Just getting about 20 posts the same there, Carl. Kiam, we should forget these players from other leagues. Let's get some proven Premier League reliable fitness players in. Aaron, he is better than Mahrez. At that price, snatched their hands off. Scott Williams, at that price, good signing for City Group and promoting the brand in Asia. From a business perspective, ticks all the boxes. I agree, Carl, he didn't look great the other day, but he's hungry and it's cheap. Stuart, I actually think Shelby could come in and do a job. No thanks. Not for me. Take out Haaland and his stats aren't like that. UEFA Champions League, come home to Manchester. UEFA Champions League, come home to Manchester City. I think it's going to be difficult. Why would we go and sign Sol? No need for him. I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. Anyway, Shelby, get in the bin. His decision making is really poor. If he had to take his chances and made better decisions, Liverpool would be out of the Champions League. You can't just say it's down to one player. And let's face it, we are talking here about 7.25 million, Carl. We're not talking about if he was 80 million. We're talking about if he was 7.25 million pounds. We spent 8 million pounds on Angelino. Go figure. Anyway, let's go on to some player ratings because I'm getting a bit bored of transfer rumours that are not really going to happen. So let's start off with our goalkeeper last night, and that is Claudio Bravo. So give us your scores for Claudio Bravo. Sorry about that. We're just music's just gone off somewhere in the house. I'm trying to find which Alexa it is in the house. Right, Bravo. He's really cheap, this Minamino lad. Well, he is at 7.25 million. Ryan Corrie, 6.5. Scott Williams, 6.5. Mingy Wong, a 6. Bernard Deneen, a 6. D Stewart, an 8. Dunk City, 6.5. Mahir Benapuri, 7. Did well when he needed to and couldn't really save that goal. Aaron, 6.5. Had a quiet night. Kiam, 6. Could have reacted better for the goal for me. Really? I think that's a bit harsh. Stu Brennan gave him a 6. Thanks, Bernard, because I was going to talk about Stu Brennan's. So if you can keep Stu Brennan's out of it, Bernard, because as you know, I always talk about Stu Brennan's on here. Carl, a 6. Give over Kiam. Nothing the keeper can do there. Dudley Lewis, not much to do. 6.5 to a 7. Andy Green, a 6. Well, if we, I thought their lad shinned it maybe be. Oh no, it was a great finish. Absolutely great finish. According to Stu Brennan, as we always do on our prediction, on our ratings, Claudio Bravo, he said Olmo's brilliant volley gave the keeper no chance, but he came up with one showy flying grab and had little else to do and gave him a 6. So looking at yours, I don't know. I think Bravo, let's just stick with a 6. I didn't think that he had much to do during the game. If I'm honest, he couldn't. There was nothing he could do for that particular shot. It was a cracking goal by Olmo. Really, really nice strike. But apart from that, a couple of great throwouts. He'd done one brilliant throwout to Mahrez, who then lost the ball. Bravo gets a 6. One of those. Let's move to our right back for last night, which was Joao Cancelo. So, what are your thoughts on Cancelo for last night? I thought he did all right. I thought he did all right. Lost the ball a number of times. Passing wasn't brilliant to start with, but I thought he grew into the game. Thought he was okay. So, what are your thoughts on him? So Bernard gives Cancelo a 6. Ryan gives him a 6. Mahir gives him a 6. Mingy Wong gives him a 5. Wow. Cancelo got forward well, but gave the ball away a bit. He did give the ball away on a number of occasions. I thought he was better as the game progressed, but by then we were already dominating them. D Stewart gives him a 7.5. Dank City a 6. Carl gives him a 6.5. Ocean Rage gives him a 7. Dudley Lewis gives him a 7 as well. So a little bit higher scores for Cancelo than for Bravo as it stands at the moment. 6 doesn't look £60 million worth of player for me. Hope it's just one season syndrome. So do I. I'm with you, Scott Williams, if I'm being honest. What does Stu Brennan say? On Cancelo, he said, awful start, giving the ball away freely, but he got his act together and played a part in a decent team display. He gave him a 6 on there. So let's just see if any more come through. Andy, a Cancelo shirt? Absolutely not. You know my thoughts on Cancelo. I'm sure he's a lovely bloke, and I'm sure he might go on at some point in his career to be a pretty decent player, but it's not so much about him personally. I just thought it was a complete and utter waste of money and a signing we didn't need to make, especially as we all see now, that money could have been spent elsewhere. Mahir, Scott Williams, I really feel he's better going forward than Walker, but he needs time. See, I disagree. I honestly disagree with that statement. This is what he was supposedly, in my opinion, if you remember, I did the full player analysis on him in the summer, and they all said, great going forward, his crossing's brilliant, he's really this. Defensively, he's all over the place. He gets caught out of position. I haven't seen Cancelo going forward and thinking, God, he's really decent going forward. For me, Walker is far better going forward than Cancelo, and he's a better defender. So, but maybe it's first season, so I think we have to give him a little bit of time to settle in. 32 plus Danilo, who was 30 million. I know it was 22 million. It was 22 million for Danilo. Sure, it was 22 million for Danilo, which means it was 38 million plus Danilo at 22 million. Did it cost 60 or 30? Well, it is one of those. You're giving away a player that is worth X amount, whatever that X is. It's still 60 million. So it was 62. Well, I mean, depending on what you read, Ryan, I'm guessing. Right, let's have a look at his scoring then. So looking at you guys, 6.5, 7s. No one else is giving a score. Oh yeah, Aaron's giving a 6. He don't start that much, Andy. He's better going forward. I like I said, I still think Walker's better going forward than Cancelo. Fair point here. Hopefully he's taking English lessons, but there are plenty of players in the squad that speak his mother tongue. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, let's give him, for argument's sake, so not to upset too many people. Let's give Cancelo a 7. I possibly myself would have given him a 6. But it's 60 million. It is, yeah, it's around about that, whatever. Danilo, 26.5. Geez, I didn't realise we paid 30 million too. Wow. Yeah, it's that. No, I actually thought it was 22 million pounds. That was what I thought I read, and I'm talking pounds sterling, not euros. 20 million pounds, 22 million pounds. We put in the deal for Danilo to Juve, and so for me, I thought we paid 38 million plus giving Danilo to them for 22. So you can see why I was concerned about the 60 million pound outlay. But anyway, it is what it is. He's here. He's not going anywhere. We'll have to support him, and let's hope he certainly improves. Because at the moment he's not, clearly he's not getting a full run of games. So let's see how it goes next season. Let's move over to the other side, and somebody who I thought was, again, started the game thinking, oh, here we go. But then I thought really grew into the game and started seeing definitely more of his old self, and that was Benjamin Mendy. So what were your thoughts on Benjamin Mendy last night? Bingy Wong, don't make him too angry. Sofian Sadi, do you think we can still win the Premier League? Doubt it. I doubt it. It'd be the greatest comeback in history. I doubt it. I thought it was a straight swap. Oh, God, no. Was it a straight swap? No chance it wasn't a straight swap, Kiam. No way. This is the thing. This is my point about £60 million. It's like madness. So, Benjamin Mendy, Dank City gives him a 7.5. Bernard Denis gives him a 7. Ryan Corrie an 8. K Waves gives him, or K Waves, if you want to pronounce it like that. I don't know which way you want to pronounce it. 7. Mingy Wong 7. Cancelo, you gave him a 6. Kiam Mendy benefited as the game opened up, and they tied a 7. Jerry Gow an 8. Mahir 8. Mendy's best game of the season. Dudley Lewis 7.5 to an 8. Ocean Rage is 7.5. Just go and see what Stu Brennan. He put abysmal in the first half, but recovered to play a big part in Jesus' second and third goals, more like his old self, and gave him a 7. I didn't think he had a great start to the game. Ocean Rage 7.5. Scott says 7, got better as the game went on, but factor in the opponent, yeah. Superior being 7, just come on. Mendy an 8. Okay. I mean, I don't think... It wasn't so much about the opponent. I thought certainly in the second half, he was playing really nice triangles with the likes of Gundogan, Foden, and Foden really found him in some great. Put him in on the left hand side in some really decent areas. First half, he had again he had no pressure on him. and the crossing, the game was really poor. But I thought certainly in the second half, his crossing was back to pretty much where it was when he signed, which was superb. So Mendy overall for you guys, I'm gonna say let's give him a 7.5 for Benjamin Mendy. Okay, so let's get rid of Mendy and let's go to our two centre backs yesterday. And the first one we're going to look at is Eric Garcia. Now, as we know, people have been crying out, let's play Garcia, let's get Taylor Howard-Bellis in there, they need to play, let's move Fernandinho back to central defensive midfielder, blah, blah, blah. And then Rodri has an absolute worldie against a poor Burnley, and Rodri should be in there. And then right, well, we saw last night, in my opinion, we saw why potentially at this moment in time, unless he gets a long run of games, Garcia looked very, very nervous for that first 20, 30 minutes. It was he was at fault for me for the first goal. He was completely ball watching. Otamendi had to try and come across and cover for him, but it was too late. And then a couple of times he was going for a ball that was Otamendi's, and then you saw Otamendi shouting at him, probably geeing him up a little bit, sort of saying, "Come on, switch on." But I thought as the game progressed and they were becoming less and less dangerous, he looked very comfortable. But by then he was under no pressure. He did get out jumped for a header that they nearly went through. So he's still a young kid, got loads to learn. Dudley Lewis, let's hope he plays as well against Arsenal. We're talking about Mendy. Bernard gives him a 6.5, Mahir a 6.5, Dank City a 7, Mingy Wong a 6, Ryan Curry a 4.5 at fault for the goal. Couldn't deal with any attack they had. Looked out of his depth. Wow, Ryan, I think that's a tad harsh. I'm with you from what you're saying there, certainly, but I think 4.5 is a tad harsh. But anyway, it's all about opinions. Carl gives him an 8. Really? Wow. K-Waves a 6, Superior being a 6, Ocean Rage at 6.5. Stephen Paul Dempster, Garcia 7.5 should play on Sunday. Kiam, Garcia did okay, looks a bit powder puff for me, a 6. Scott Williams 7, only a young lad, still think Bubblegum should have done better with their goal. Ocean Rage, Gundogan was at fault 2 for their goal. Ryan Curry, he grew into the game because they stopped attacking and all he had to do was pass. I can't disagree with that, Ryan, either, because let's face it, they didn't have the back two. I mean, we saw Otamendi was 20 yards into their half for most of the game, and Garcia at times. I mean, they weren't really doing anything at all in the second half. K-Webs 6 shouldn't start in Premier League games. Ryan, based off what, Stephen? Scott Williams, agree, Ocean. Dudley Lewis Garcia 6 to a 6.5. I wouldn't play him on Sunday, says Mingy Wong. I wonder if his name was Dave Smith, he'd be playing. Good point, Kiam. Oxford will be his next game, perhaps with Taylor Bellis. Yeah, more than likely. More than likely. I'll be very surprised if he plays against Arsenal on Sunday. Very surprised. Ryan Taylor Howard-Bellis was better than Garcia once he came on for me. Right, so let's have a look at your scores then. This one will be interesting. 6, 7, 6. I'm going to be kind and give him a 6.5. There you go, 6.5 for Eric Garcia. So what about his partner then? And that was last night, the captain, and that was Nicholas Otamendi, the general. So what were your thoughts on the general last night? Did he play like a general? I thought he had a decent game, and you know my feelings on Otamendi. I've said it time and time again. I think he's a decent player. He has the odd rick in him, but then all defenders do, or most defenders do anyway. But I just like the way that he's dominant in the air, and I think he does read the game pretty well. But it's all about opinions. Dank City gives him a 7. Kiam said yes, kid needs time. Bernard a 6.5. Otamendi a 7. Ryan an 8. Mingy Wong a 7. Must he play Sunday? Carl gives him a 7. Superior being 7.5. Tick till I die. Hi Andy, hope you're well. Otamendi 7.5. I'm good, buddy. How are you, mate? Scott Williams a 7. Dudley Lewis a 7. Jerry Gow gives him an 8. What did I forgot to read out Eric Garcia's from Stu Brennan. He said his position and anticipation saved the City defence plenty of pain. Old head on a young shoulders gave him a 7. Otamendi, he said, should have attacked the cross for Olmo's goal, but made amends with some stern defending a 6. I think he might have got those mixed up, those. And I'm hoping Stu Brennan was actually watching the game, because he would know that the goal wasn't Otamendi's fault. It was really Garcia's fault. But anyway, Ryan Corey, Nico with a man of the match game against United, and has been top 3-4 players in each of the last 3 seasons. In the last 3, Stephen. Play Garcia on Sunday with Otamendi, FDO in the number 8 position. Kiam, I think you mean Fernandino, yeah. Otamendi 6.5, needs to start regularly for me, as we have none better at the moment. Titodai, I'm good, thanks, good. Steve Paul Dempster, Otamendi 7.5 on there, okay. So Nicholas Otamendi gets some 8s in there as well. Let's give him a 7.5. I thought he had a decent game last night. And maybe I'm a little bit biased because I've stuck up for him for so long, but I still think he's a decent defender, and he's pretty much most games he's a 7 for me. But hey ho. I'm moving on to our holding midfielder last night, which was Rodri, and I'm sure you all have got your thoughts certainly on that elbow, which was absolutely disgraceful. Awful. And what VAR was thinking about, did they review it? If they did, how they could possibly think that wasn't a red card, God knows, because I know Owen Hargreaves and Jolien Lescott in the studio said, without a shadow of doubt, how was VAR not given that as a straight red card? It was disgraceful. He actually made a movement away from the ball to elbow Rodri in the face. Now that could have fractured his cheekbone. And we'd have him missing for a couple of weeks until he comes back with a mask on for a month. Disgraceful challenge. Bernard gives Rodri a 7. Dank City an 8. Jerry Gow an 8. City Till I Die a 7. Stephen Paul Dempster, Rodri a 6.5. Ryan Corey 5.5. Game passed him by for me. Kay Webers 6.5. Rodri, need him to be far more aggressive. Carl gives him an 8. Mingy Wong gives him a 7. Scott Williams gives him a 6.5. Kiam, Rodri steady but ill-disciplined to headbutt that guy's elbow. A 7. Dudley Lewis a 6.5 to a 7. Okay, let's see what we've got then. So 7s and 8s and a couple of 5.5 and a 6.5 and an 8 and a 7. And Superior Being says a 7. I'm going to go for a standard Win-Walk Xbox Live, a 5.5. Win-Walk Xbox Live. Wonder who that is. I wonder. I'm going to give Rodri, out of your swell, you're giving Rodri on average around about a 7. Yeah, I think he's all right. He's doing okay. Steady Eddie more than anything else. Jerry Gow, VAR doesn't kick in until the knockout stages. Is that true? No, that can't be true. That can't be true. VAR isn't in until the knockout stages? Surely. Can't be. Stephen Paul Dempster, I want to change my mark for Rodri. I give him a 9 for getting up and not letting the elbow get to him. Yeah, or reacting to it, because you could quite easily, it could quite easily have gone looking for him after that. That can't be right, Jerry Gow. That VAR doesn't kick in until the knockout stages, surely. I'd need to have a look at that. I can't believe that, because you've got people in the studio asking about VAR, and I'm sure VAR has been used, but I mean, maybe post a link to me. Maybe that's right. Post a link. That's true. Carl, only for Europa League. Yeah, I was going to say I'm sure it's been in the Champions League. I'm sure it's been in the Champions League. VAR. But maybe check that out, mate. I don't want to come off here to check it. Maybe, or I'll try and check it when you're looking at your next player rating. I thought it was only the group stages. Right, next player last night. And we're going to move on, and we will take a look at Ilkay Gundogan. What were your thoughts on Ilkay Gundogan last night? We've had VAR in our group games. Well, that's what I thought. Stephen Paul Dempster, you're going all the way back to the beginning with Garcia 7.5. You've done him about 4 players ago. Dank City gives Gundogan a 6.5. It 100% is as Liverpool got through. 6.5 says K. Well, there's Mark the Blue. Hi, Andy, Justin from work. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, you hope you're good, buddy. Carl, 6.5. Sit till I die, 6.5. Martin, hey, all thought I'd jump on while I have 15 minutes spare. Bernard gives him a 6. Stephen Paul Dempster, Gundogan a 4.5. Wow. Mingy Wong a 6. Ryan Corey 5. Far too slow on the ball. Led to 2 or 3 counters. Scott Williams a 6. Remember, these are your scores, not mine. That's my poor ratings out the way. Dudley Lewis a 6. Superior being a 6. Just having a look what we've done Rodri, but Stu Brennan last in his ratings on Rodri, he said persistently stepped in to thwart Dinamo attacks at source and gave a passing masterclass and gave him an 8. Ilkay Gundogan, he says, so neat and useful when City are on the front foot or when seeking to kill a game as they did here, and gives him a 7. I can't see many 7s on here I can't see a 7 from anybody on here. Lots and lots of 6s. Kiam gave Gundogan a 6. Mark the Blue a 6. Winwalk Xbox Live gives him a 5. Right, okay. Looks like the majority on here are going for a 6. So Gundogan, for me, he gets a 6, and I'd probably agree with that. So we've done Rodri, we've done Gundogan. Let's move on to the Stockport Iniesta, and that is Phil Foden. So. What a wonderful performance by the young man last night. And that, like we said, Pep will pick him when he decides to pick him, and we have to trust in Pep for his development. He's the one who sees him day in, day out. And I think as City fans, we need to accept that. Norman Roman, hi Andy, how are you? Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you? Martin, Gundogan, you gave him a 6.5. Bernard Denin gives Foden an 8. City Till I Die gives him a 9. K. Webers a 9. Jerry Gow an 8. Kiam, Phil did well. He stood out at times for me, an 8. Dank City 9, really impressed me. Carl gives him a 9.5. Wow. Mingy Wong a 9. I thought he was very, very good last night. Martin gives him a 9.5. Mark the Blue a 9. Superior being a 9. Just his energy, just the way he just drives forward. But again, it was against Zagreb. But I still think he could do it most weeks in the Premier League. 9 warranted a start at the weekend. Winwalk at Spots Live, 8, no doubt. Norman Roman, Foden, an 8. Scott Williams gives Foden an 8. Dudley Lewis, 8 plus 1 for scoring. So that's a 9 from Dudley. Wow, lots of 9s on here. I think that's looking. His passing long and short was exceptional. Yeah, very good. I like the way he holds the ball. He's comfortable taking the ball in, like David Silva does. He's comfortable taking the ball with players around him, and he's strong for his size, and he keeps the ball really well. And let's face it, he's a blue, so he drives the team forward. He does, but my one concern is I'm going to give Foden a 9 because I think he makes all the other players look heavy and slow. He drives the team forward. True, said Kiam. Foden then gets a 9 from you guys. And yeah, I am in agreement, but I do think we have to trust Pep in his development. Pep knows far more about Foden than we do, and I think we've also got to be realistic in saying no, that was a great performance, but it was against Zagreb. They were garbage, a garbage team. And in the second half, he really came into the game when they just sat back and did nothing. So he had a lot of the ball, but what he did with it was superb. And my one concern is these City fans who were just screaming for Foden. He needs to play every game, and he should be in instead of David Silva. He should do this. Well, what if he goes and plays on Sunday against Arsenal and has a really poor game? Is everyone going to go, yeah, but he's from Stockport, so we forgive him that, and he plays the next game as well, and he, just let's not put too much pressure on him. That was his 50th performance for City last night, 50, and he is now, as it stands, I think in Europe this season, I think he's played 35 minutes, and he's got the same number of big chances created as Lionel Messi, top 2 in Europe. So, it's a lot of pressure on the kid. Let's just chill. Let's chill out and just, I'm sure Pep will introduce him without a shadow of a doubt. And last night I thought he was very, very good without a shadow of a doubt. Right, moving over to the left wing. This time was starting off with Bernardo Silva. Passing range of movement with the ball was excellent. He is the missing piece. Norman, I'm scared this season. We look lightweight at the back, slow in tracking back. Norwich, Wolves, United, same pattern. Avinda Powell, Handy, hope you're doing well. Sorry I haven't been supporting the streams recently. Been busy with studies. Not a problem. Studies come first, Avinda. I hope they're going well. Martin, he can't prove it against better. He can't prove it against better if he's only given 2 minutes, pal, to be fair. No, I'm not saying that. Martin, you're completely missing the point in what I've just said. I'm saying if he comes on and suddenly he has a bad game on Sunday, if he plays, if he starts, I'm talking about, suddenly the pressure will ramp on him because he's got to play, he should be in this team, he's still a baby. And Pep knows far more about developing players than anybody on here put together, or everyone on here put together. So you have to trust Pep's done it time and time and time again. He knows, and just like I was watching back, I think I listening to this morning, I think it was Ray Parlour was saying the same thing, and he said, look, just let Pep get on with doing his job, which is developing this player. We know he's possibly going to be one of the best players for England in the next 10 years, but he is so young. Stop putting pressure on him. When Pep decides he's ready, he'll be ready, and no doubt he will be definitely in that starting 11 next season. This season is an introductory season, so let's not go overboard. But let's hope if he does play, he has a wonderful game. And they were trying to do comparisons with Jack Wilshere, and they were saying about when he was at Arsenal, and he said, look, Jack Wilshere wasn't at the level of Foden is, and Jack Wilshere at that time when he was getting all this rave reviews as the next big thing, he wouldn't have got into the City team right now. And he said you have to look at the players that you're going to replace. So you have to be realistic. Anyway, let's go back. Sorry, we were talking about Bernardo. I'm just trying to catch up on your comments. K-Wave is a 7, Carl a 7, Bernard a 7, City till I die 6.5, Dance City 7. Like I said, he's got talent. Let's not pressure him. Scott Williams a 6, Mingy Wonga, big jump there, 7. Norman Roman, Bernardo a 7, Mark the Blue 7, Kiam, Bernardo nothing like last season 6.5, Ryan Corrie a 7.5, Winwalk, Bernardo an 8, Havinda, I hope as fan base we can support our team in the Champions League. For me, team to do well in Europe, we must change our mentality as a fan base. Why? What change what mentality as a fan base? Wasn't what we'll talk about that. Come back with that one at the end. Wasn't having a go. No, you weren't having a go, mate. Good evening, peasants. How are you, either? I think the silly Twitter thing has deflated Bernardo. I think he's slow. I just wanted him to get there quicker than he has done. But you're starting to see glimpses. Good evening, stolen from. Stars in their eyes. Jerry Gow just checked VAR again. 6.5, 7 needs to up his game. Bernardo then on here. I'm going to read out what gets a let's say a generous 7. On Phil Foden, Stu Brennan said his bright burst brought the first goal, and he had a big part in the second and a vital pass in the third. Took his goal well. Superb 9. On Bernardo Silva, he said still fighting to find his best, but he never shirks and still comes up with the occasional moments of quality. Gave him a 6. So we've been maybe a little bit generous there, giving him a 7, if I'm being honest. But anyway, let's go to the other side, and that was Riyad Mahrez. So what were your thoughts on Mahrez for yesterday? Tonight, folks, I'm being Kiam, Bernardo, Salim. The world is... Jerry Gow 8. Unfortunately, the world isn't ending. Don't build my hopes up. Either you see your fave Twitter account not knowing who THB was last night. Oh, I know, that was funny, wasn't it? Yeah, unbelievable. Never seen him before. Did he not say? I've never seen him. Who's he? I've never heard of him before. What? Bernard Dominguez Mahrez a 6. Dank City 6.5. Mingy Wong a 6. Scott Williams a 6.5. Jerry Gow 6. Well, Martin's got to go. Enjoy your Christmas dinner, mate. Kiam Mahrez, the Invisible Legend 6. Liam Luxury, oh my God. Mark the Blue 6. Norman Roman a 6. Dudley Lewis a 5.5 to a 6. Superior being a 6. What did Stu Brennan say about Mahrez? His instant control of long aerial balls ensured he was a constant threat, even if his involvement was limited. 7 he gave him. Ryan Curry is 6. Mingy Wong, enjoy the dinner, Martin. Mahrez is a very flimsy player. Can be great, but can be poor on other occasions. Okay, it's looking like you've given him a 6. 2, sell him, the world is ending. So your scores will give Riyad Mahrez a 6 for last night. Always said it. He's got wonderful technique. Just doesn't do enough for me. You know, if he swapped up his style by going round the outside or cutting back, he repeats 99% of the time. The defenders are looking at him going, I know exactly where you're going. Nice cross for Gabby's goal though, but he was given all the time in the world. Which leads me on to our hat-trick hero last night, which I was really pleased for the kid, and that is Gabby Jesus. Nice header, nice finish with his right foot, and also another nice volley to end off Mendy's cross. And it was great for all that endeavour and energy and everything else running around that he normally gives us every single game. It was nice to see him get something from it, but he's got to be doing this more often. Gabby, Dank City gave him an 8.5. Avinder Pal, yeah, great talent. Jerry Gow gave him an 8. Bernard gives him an 8. Mingy Wong gives him an 8 as well. Ryan Curry, 9.5. Missed his 4th with an unmarked header, or it would have been a 10. Yeah, he did sort of mess that one up, didn't he? Norman Roman, an 8. Mark the Blue, an 8.5. I normally give him 0 to wind up his fanboys. So, Carl, 9.75. I was ecstatic with Jesus' goals. 7.5, sorry guys, still not sure he's the answer. Superior being Jesus, an 8.5. Dudley, 9 plus 3. Well, you can't have 12, mate. It only goes up to 10. So you're going to have to give him a 9 or a 10, entirely up to you. For me, will he ever go on to replace Sergio Aguero? For me, no. Simply won't. Not in a striker's role. But at the end of the day, he's there to score goals. We know he runs around, and I've said it on so many occasions. There's got to be more than just, he does a high press and his energy is phenomenal. When he's playing in a striker's role, he has to score goals. And he's not always been as clinical as he could be. But he played last night and scored a hat-trick. You can't ask for much more than that from your striker. Kiam says, Jesus, man of the match, 10 out of 10. Strikers score goals, absolutely. Ryan Curry, how are people giving such low ratings? 4 chances, 3 goals. Don't think Mahrez is a winger. Jerry Gow said that in my video I did all about Mahrez a few months back. Win Walcott Spotlight, 10 for me, played outstanding. Phyllis, Pep is a Spaniard. We need a Roman in charge. They have no problem finding a cross for Jesus. 100% record, 9. Dudley Lewis, 10. You do make me laugh, fella. Is Moses available ever? Yeah, definitely football is a results business. Right, okay, Gabby. We'll give him a very big, solid 9. You can't ask for much more than that. What did Stu Brennan says? A stock far post header, a lovely second, and a tap-in for a much-needed hat-trick. He now has 5 in 3 games and gave him a 9. So, I was really pleased for him because he seems a really likeable guy. It seems that everybody likes him. He could easily be Billy Big Bollocks and, do a Leroy Sane. I'm sulking, I'm not happy, I want to play and I'm this, that and the other. And it doesn't seem to be that kid. He seems very respectful. He works hard. He's respectful of Pep's decisions. We know he gives 100% in every time he puts on the shirt. Is he really an out striker? Possibly. Will he ever go on to be Sergio Aguero? I doubt it. But there's no doubt in the kid's got wonderful talent. Absolutely wonderful talent. He really, really has. And I was just really pleased for him, regardless of whether it was Zagreb or not. It was really nice to see him get a hat-trick. Excuse me. God will strike you down, Phyllis. Mahrez has been played at centre-forward for Algeria before. Sorry, let me just get a drink. Exactly Harvinder, but he only seems to do it away from home at the moment. Phyllis says, Moses talks to burning bushes. I prefer talking to trimmed ones. Kiam, I hope Mahrez has a storm this weekend to impress the fanboys at Arsenal so we can sell him to them. So do I. Harvinder Pal, I respect Gabby's rise. Very down to earth. He is. He is. So, well, I don't know. He seems to be. Right. On to our manager for last night. Our manager booked for the game last night and his performance, and that is obviously Josep Guardiola. So what were your thoughts on Pep last night? Picking that team, obviously I think some beforehand thought maybe there were too many players coming on. That starting 11 was possibly too strong and should have had more kids in there. But agree that Gabby isn't the man to replace Aguero. Trim the bush, don't talk politics either, not today. Jesus will be the best marksman in the world, you reckon? Wow. Needs time. We know he needs time without a shadow of a doubt. But maybe he will. And let's hope he is. Carl gives Pep an 8. Bernard an 8. Give Pep an 8. Did good, but didn't need to risk Sterling. Yeah, I was thinking that last night. Said that on the live watch along. Pep a 7. Mingy Wong an 8. Kiam, Pep 7. Taylor Howard-Bella should start ahead of Garcia for me. He's better. I'm going to add these last just few in, even though some only came on for a few minutes. Jerry Gowan 8. Superior being an 8. Seems like pretty much across the board. Pep 9. Sack him if we lose to the Gunners. 8, but it looks like the flu is going around the camp watching his post-match presser. 6.5 start. Still starting a little slowly and could have played more youth. Shouldn't have put Raz on an 8. Happy he gave you the chance. Some want more youth, someone, he's happy he's giving him a chance. Let's just give an average score of Pep Guardiola gets an 8, which leads me to the substitutes. And the first one that we saw, which was wonderful to see back, was Zinke, he came on and made an appearance, which was great to see him. See him come on last night, and yeah, he came on the 66th minute. He was a replacement for Gabby after Gabby got his hat-trick. So he got a good sort of 25 minutes or so run out there, which you'll need, and it would, would he retain his place, or after Mendy's performance last night, should Mendy still be kept as left back against Arsenal? But it was weird, but doing the watch along last night, he came on and it was almost like he was given a free number 8, number 10 role to just license to go forward, while Bernardo played in a centre forwards role. Ryan gives him a 6, Jerry go 8. Garcia needs more time, as you can see. Slight mistakes in his performance. Foden played amazing, he did. Scott Williams 6.5, Mingy 1.7. Norman Roman gives him a 7. I laughed when he was eyeing striker until Ras came on, yeah. Bernard 6.5, Zinchenko a 6. Yeah, didn't do a great deal, I'll be honest with you. I think a couple of high scores on here. We're just going to give Zinke, just give him a 7. Didn't do anything wrong when he came on. By then, the game was pretty much dead. Which leads me to the controversial seeing of Raheem Sterling last night, and I thought it was a bit weird, and I'm not sure why. And we can't really score him per se, but it's more of a talking point because Sterling came on the 73rd minute, so he got about 18, 19 minutes. Maybe we could give him a score, but I just thought it was a bizarre. I thought it was a bizarre selection when he could have put somebody like Angelino on, and give him a run out, sort of playing in a left wing role, and maybe move somebody else inside or wherever. I thought it was a bit. I don't know why he did it. Maybe he wanted him on the score sheet, give him a bit of confidence prior to Sunday. I don't know. I thought it was a strange one, if I'm being honest. Why risk him? Mark the Blues 6.5. Phyllis a 7. Luke Mendy is a liability. Angelo looks lacks defensive ability. Zinchenko should easily slot back in. Zin can play number 8. He can. Jerry Gow 6. Bernard 6. Ryan a 6. 6 shouldn't have been on the pitch. Okay, let's just give him a 6 because he came on as a sub and he didn't really play that many minutes. But we're going to talk about this guy because even though he only came on for a very short period of time, he does look something a little bit special for me, and I really do like him. And I've said it before, I do think he's looks potentially better than Garcia, and that was Taylor Howard-Bellis. I think he's going to be a very, very good player. I really do. He's just got something that is very cool, calm, collected, don't panic, good in the air, good with his feet, reads the game well. And it would have been interesting to see him play alongside Otamendi last night and see how, with more minutes, how he plays positionally. But it seems that Garcia is just a step ahead of him in his development at the moment. But really excited for this kid. And fingers crossed he sticks around and he gets some chances in the cup competitions. I think Pep just wanted to tick him over because he starts Sunday. Not for me, but I'm a window cleaner. It was great to see Taylor Howard-Bellis leaving a little on the players last night. Since Company left, we've not been physical enough in the middle. Wasn't in it. Strange. Ryan 7 made a good block, tackling his 10 minutes. Jericho 7 looks good. Taylor Howard-Bellis has the aggression we desperately need. Better than Eric, says Carl. Stockport Beckenbauer, says Ocean Rage. Champ Phil says 10 out of 10, Taylor. Scott Williams 7, good point either. Lou Johnson Garcia is smart, but Bellis has the build and strength we need. Same as Sterling, needs more time. Can't give one, my bloody stream went off. Yeah, there's just something. And all right, we've seen him in the cup competitions, haven't we, and things like that, and little appearances. But I do think I don't know whether we can give him a score, but let's give him a 6 because he came on as a sub for 10 minutes. But it was really just a talking point. That's why I put it up there. He only came on, I think it was for 9 minutes or so. But there is something about him. There is definitely something about him that you look at him and think he just looks so calm. Doesn't look flustered, and that's when you saw in the first half last night. Garcia on a couple of occasions looked very flustered, which he had, to be fair to the kid, he hasn't in the past. But Howard Bellis, every time you see him, you just think, he just looks cool as a cucumber, really calm, no panic in him, and he's constantly looking around, watching where everybody is. I think he's going to be a really seriously good player. I hope he is anyway, because another local lad, which is always great for any club. So I think I'm really excited about this kid. Billy says Taylor Howard-Bellis, he always got his head up, knows where the ball is, sign of a great player. Absolutely. He just looks very, very cool, calm and collected. He rarely looks like... This is the thing, when you see centre-backs, certainly young centre-backs as well, when you see him play, and I know we're not seeing tons and tons and tons of him, it looks like he's rarely out of position. He always seems to be just in the right position. And he's planning ahead, he's thinking ahead, he's seeing things, and he's seeing threats and danger, and he's just moving over slightly or moving a little bit more here or anticipating a bit, going, I need to get a little bit closer to him. He rarely looks like suddenly something has happened and it's like reactionary. Oh my God, he's going past, He don't look like that. Garcia did on a couple of occasions last night. He don't look like that. He looks like he's reading the game a couple of minutes ahead of time and looking at what's going on. I think he's going to be very, very, very good player, really good player. Mark the Blue instead of Stones. Well, at this moment in time, let's face it, it's just the same argument I said before with, if Foden was to play at the weekend. The difference is Foden's had plenty of Premier League games and Champions League games, things, let's not forget this kid is a baby. But he could come in for Sunday, play alongside Otamendi or Fernandinho, let's say. And what if he has a nightmare? Will that dampen, his progress? Will that, affect his confidence? And these are all the things that Pep's got to manage, not only with Howard-Bellis and Garcia and Bernabei and all the others, but Foden as well. So I don't know. Is he ready yet? I guess it's one of those. You look at a 17, 18-year-old kid playing him at centre-back. Could be. You never know. But I can't see it happening. Not this season. I think a season of cup competitions, summer tour, Pep will see more of him. Test him. We know he's around. He's training now. He's around with the squad unless he's playing in academy games. So I still think maybe next year. Who knows? But for me, I'm really excited, and you can imagine that in next year we could see the likes of Foden and Howard-Bellis in the same team. That two homegrown players, that would be wonderful, absolutely wonderful. He can't start in the League Cup. Scott Williams, Garcia was nervous, perhaps didn't appreciate the general getting in his head all the time. We'll tell our best Garcia will take on responsibility. And Vindapal, I hope so, Andy, because I feel like the game lacks proper centre-backs nowadays. A lot of centre-backs are hung up on playing out in the back. Stones is injured, he is. Yes, instead of Stones. Ivor said that's the difference, Andy. Like Dino, he puts himself in the right place, expecting the ball to come. That is an art that only the best. Absolutely. And that's what you see in Howard-Bellis. You don't see him panicking and reacting. It's like he's read it already. You only have to look. I mean, you talk about some of the world's best players at the back or defensive midfielders. You talk about Baresi, wasn't big, wasn't fast. Cannavaro wasn't tall, but read the game absolutely perfectly. And that is what you see so early on in Howard-Bellis. He just is in the right place at the right time and never looks panicked. All over the world buying players, and the two closest for the first team from Stockport, the new Brazil. Yeah. Stones injured, but absolutely wasted on the other night. Annoyed me a bit. Should be looking after it. Yes. Well, I said that on social media. I just was, gets injured in a derby. You know what it's like, and no one's sort of saying he shouldn't go out and party and celebrate, but to be all over Instagram and everything, absolutely pissed as a fart. Speaking in a Jamaican accent at Sterling's things. And all right, it's funny and whatever else. You've just been injured, mate. You've just come back from a load of injuries. You've just done this. Go out, celebrate. Do you really need to be that drunk when you're probably having treatment and everything else? And I just don't think it almost looks like he doesn't care. He's not bothered now. I really don't think Pep will be too impressed, not considering he's injured. Might as well be nothing to lose. Has great defensive awareness like Laporte. Get him on the bench, bring him on slowly. I played with Wes Brown as kids, and he was the only one who wouldn't drink on nights out, and he made it discipline. Kiam, I think Stones is done. He's had his chance, I'm afraid. Unfortunately, I've lost my patience with Stones. We must sell in summer. Stones isn't completely injured, if I'm being quite honest. I'll sub if you shout me out. Liam Luxury. There you go. Shout out, Liam. Baresi was like 5'5", was he? He was on, well, I think he was maybe a bit taller than 5'5". I think he was about 5'8" or something like that. But beast. But technically brilliant. Just read the game. And Cannavaro, what a player he was as a centre-back. Brilliant. Garcia was hesitant in his decision-making in the air and on the deck. That's what put him in slightly behind most of the time. That will come with game time. Yeah, of course it will. Hell of a centre-back. Are you... TBHI, are you backing Boris, Andy? Who are you voting for? Simple answer. I ain't telling you. I understand football. I just answered. No, I won't answer the name of the party. I've already, if you know what I put on Twitter, I'm fed up. It's got nothing to do with anybody, what other people vote, and certainly people saying vote for this, vote for that, vote for the other. Bored. Suddenly everyone becomes a political expert a couple of days over election day. Bore off. No, to me, it's his private decision. Stones has none. I'm an Oldham fan. I love City in the Premier League. Well done, mate. Pep for PM. Well, yeah, can't. I don't think anybody deserves to be in at the moment. I'll be honest with you. They're all a bunch of idiots. Garcia should play CDM. Well, that if we play him, then what's the point spending £64 million on Rodri? Another waste of 64 million quid. But anyway, that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. Really do appreciate it. Makelele was an animal, and when he left Madrid, there was a massive void. Makelele was a wonderful, wonderful player. Very good player. Thank you for coming on. Really do appreciate it, and thanks for giving your player ratings tonight. And don't forget, go over and look at the video I put out this morning on the Premier League's predictions. And if you're not already following over on the Discord channel, the Man City Fan TV Discord channel, go over. We're going to be using it a lot more in the near future, and we're going to be having some live debates on Discord, so you can ring in and we can all talk to each other. So we had a production meeting last night, and we've got loads of new things coming up. And Discord is one that we are going to use more of during the week, and it's free. And if a few of us are on, you're more than welcome to ring in. It's and we'll have a discussion for maybe 15, 20 minutes or something on one topic. Later, peasant. See you, Ivor. Great vlog, Andy. Take it easy, mate. Thanks, Kiam. Cheers, Andy, and guys. Have a great night. You too, Bernard. Scott Williams. Cheers, Blues. Have a good evening. Have a good evening, Andy, and all. You too, Ocean Rage. Mingy Wongs. Nice vlog, Andy. Take care and have a positive evening. Thank you. Same to you, buddy. Going to do the announcement in Discord after this. Good. Yeah, go over there, mate. We are going to, like I said, we are going to be doing a little bit more in there. Or we're certainly going to do more in there, and we're going to be doing maybe once a week. We're going to be doing some live chats that people can call in. And have a discussion surrounding a topic. So get over there, push that out there on there, Ryan. And I don't know when we're going to do the first one, but it should be interesting. See you all, Jerry Gal. See you. Take care, Dudley. I'm in there, Andy. You've been in good form today, mate. Keep up. Thank you very much, mate. And good luck with your studies. Later, Andy and Blues. You get my vote. Thank you, out the blue. Bye, Blues. When's Aguero coming back? Don't know, Liam. I'm surprised. I thought he might have been back this weekend, but it doesn't look like he is going to be. So probably another week or two. I'm guessing. But anyway, this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell icon, comment below the videos, and go over, watch the, if you've not seen parts of the live watch along last night, go and have a watch of that. And don't forget, check out the Premier League predictions, and go over and join the Man City Fan TV Discord channel. It's free. And if you've not listened to the latest podcast, that's free on SoundCloud as well. And it's also on the YouTube channel. So, guys, take care, and see you Super Arabian. Have a wonderful evening. And this is Andy from Man City Fan TV, signing out for another night. We'll be back tomorrow. Take care, guys.